hump day, or as Big Dawg calls it, his Monday.
My Monday.
What's going on, Big Dawg?
Dude, nothing much. Good 2 days off, but we're back to ripping the cards today.
There you go.
So
where would you rather be?
Actually, nowhere else, to be honest.
What have you been up to, though, these last 2 days? I always wonder what Big Dawg gets up to when he's not here.
Really nothing crazy. Went to the Lightning game last night.
Okay.
I had a friend in town from Pittsburgh who works for the Pirates.
A Yinzer!
Yinzer. He works for PR for the Pirates, and dude, he was just telling me, hanging out with him was so cool. He was telling me just a bunch of cool stories. He was like telling me one of his a normal task of his on his daily job responsibilities is Paul Skeens will have a Zoom interview with MLB Network, and his job is to go down to the locker room and get Paul Skeens and walk him up to the media room and put him in front of the computer. So he was telling me about all the guys he gets to meet. He's been in town because he was in Monday night because the Pirates played the Yankees down here in Tampa. And two, he's been living with the team down in Bradenton, so he's been close by.
Damn, okay.
So very, very cool. Went around the little town of Tampa yesterday, trying out some food places that I've been looking to get around to.
Did?
Yeah.
I would have assumed you've hit all the spots.
There's been a pizza place called Santoro's Pizza.
Pizza in Tampa, huh?
Again, this is where Dave Portnoy went when he came to town. Right. He gave it, I think it was either a 7.9 or an 8.1.
For those who know, it's pretty darn high.
Yeah, pretty darn high. Chandi's been talking a bunch of smack about it, saying that you can't get pizza like that down in Tampa.
I lean with Chandi. The rare time I do lean with Chandi is here.
He's right.
Oh no, really?
It was good. It was good, but it had some flop to it. I wasn't too happy with that. I think Dave Portnoy's slice that he got was a little bit more
I was just going to say that.
Made. You know what I mean?
They knew what they were doing.
I think they took a little bit more care of that. But that's Santoro's in Tampa. Really good nonetheless.
You should have walked in and showed him a video or two and said, "Hey, Big Dawg right here."
Yeah, you know.
Ever heard of Talkin Slab?
This is going to be reviewed on Talkin Slab. I better get a good slice. So that's what I did.
That's pretty good stuff.
Nothing crazy.
You got any news on Paul Skeens? Is there any more inside stories on Paul Skeens?
I hear he's just looking scary. That's all.
There's no doubt about that.
That's
Come
all
on.
I know.
He's still in Tampa, isn't he?
What? Yeah, he's still in Tampa.
We're gonna gotta squeeze some stories out of him. We need some dirt. We need some dirt on Paul Skeens. I
know. It was the first time I've seen him in a while. I wanted to just ask so much, get so much dirt out of him.
Just Skeens' his mustache. It's fake, right?
Yeah.
He's not actually dating Livy Dunn.
Actually, that nice in person.
Yeah. Nevertheless, good morning to everyone. Appreciate you guys joining us. Trey P. Ain't no Permanente
You
brothers
are right about
in Tampa.
that, Trey P. You are right about that as well.
Permanente brothers, what do we got? Jimmy John's?
There is one, Trey P. There is one in Fort Lauderdale, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about Florida. They will at least try to replicate it.
Because the owner moved down. No, the owner moved down to Florida and was like, "All right, I'm opening my one here," and then that's good enough.
It is true. That's the entire state of Florida. But I'm always thrilled when we see Big Dawg in the building. We got a random team of Bowman Draft HTA.
I know.
We did this yesterday. It was actually really fun.
I know these are sweet, and the price point is awesome too. At only $120.
Right. We had the biggest hit was easily a Braden Montgomery to 50. Obviously, that went to the Red Sox, but just gives you kind of an idea.
They were running them last night, though. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
witnessed.
I didn't see it last night. I was fast asleep.
Nick Kurtz auto to 5.
Damn.
Connor Griffin auto to 10.
So we hit a on a $120 spot.
I can't guarantee it was on the $120 spot.
Okay.
I know towards the later end of the night they were running $120 spots. So I'm assuming it was from that.
Okay, so Nick Kurtz to 5 auto. Connor Griffin to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the cards that came out of there last night. We had a Braden Montgomery to 50 during the day as well.
Yes.
It's just a fun little twist on it. I know we want to hit these big Swamp King breaks and all that. I do too. But this is a fun way to get in. Take a little chance at $120 your random team.
Easy to get
You
paid.
could get the Royals. You could get the Guardians. You could get the A's like we were just talking about with Nick Kurtz to 5. So yeah, that's what we got in our store here. Should be a fun day. What's this Taco Tuesday character we got here? 2 of Bowman Draft HTA full cases and 5 boxes of triple threads. You see this one?
Yeah.
Now I'm assuming this was left over from late last night because it's called Taco Tuesday. Yes. Maybe you should change the name to Wacky Wednesday today, but that's what we got cooked up in the store. I am pumped. Of course, if you keep looking at our store, we do have the slab or no slab wheel in there. At 10 a.m. today, I will throw a trivia question out there. Where's Rect at? Is Rect in the chat today? Rect called me out for I forgot a trivia question yesterday, and he's like, come on, no trivia? You're going to get the trivia question wrong today. I guarantee it. This is one of the most confident I've ever been in terms of my trivia. So just a little preparation there. I hope you brought... Tough tough one today. But nonetheless, we got Big Dawg on the table. I love when Big Dawg's on the table, when Big Dawg's on the desk, I feel like I always end up talking quarterbacks with you.
Who knows what
that is my go-to topic with Big Dawg. Jason's here, we talk baseball. Aaron's here, I don't know, I just kind of roll the ball out, and then Aaron really gets on his high horse about one topic, and he just keeps going and going.
The NBA guru.
Yeah, NBA guru. He talks about Mets prospects, and he always make a comment like, I'm not saying I'm an MLB scout, but I could do these guys' job better than him. Every show he says something like that. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about quarterbacks with Big Dawg to start the show because every week, every day, a new domino kind of falls.
Yes, yeah. And something I want to bring up about this discussion is because, again, we have been breaking I feel like this is a topic we've been breaking down. And I remember literally specifically last week, we kind of talked like, should the hype die out? Like, is this like overblown? And looking at where we're at now, completely overblown. Why
is that? What part of it?
Why the stories about Stafford? How many teams was he potentially going to?
6
potential trade packages with him and Cup, going to another team. Him going to the Giants. Him going here to the Steelers to that. He's a Ram. He's a Ram. He's exactly where he was. There's not much there to it. Again, not much over went through it. So again, that's only story number one. Who cares about Rodgers? I heard he wants to go to New York. That is the New York Giants. That's
right.
That even sounds like. Dude, what are we gonna watch? I can't wait. So, again, back to what we talked about last week. I think you gotta let I think the dust needs to settle.
Yeah.
And the good thing is we got the answer on Stafford. That was one of the big names. Obviously, there's still some big names out there that we're still looking for the dust to settle on. But I haven't heard stories being too crazy in the media.
Yeah,
the most recent one that I have been reading about is Aaron Rodgers wanting to go to the Giants.
So I was reading Aaron Rodgers, but I think the most recent hard news we have for a quarterback is Sam Darnold, because the Vikings were speculated they would use a franchise tag on Sam Darnold this season.
Yes,
they did not.
I know.
They officially said they did not, and I think as of this, there was a fantastic article written. Shout out Zach Rosenblatt, a brother of mine. That's a joke. In The Athletic here, saying all of the different circumstances for teams and quarterbacks. And Rosenblatt in this article here, he lays out the different teams and situations in terms of what their quarterback situation is. So the majority of the NFL locked into their quarterbacks. Drake May and the Patriots, Baker and the Bucks, CJ Stroud and the Texans, so on and so forth. You get the picture. 3 teams, he said, these quarterbacks are safe, but they are on shaky ground. Those teams are the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, the Dolphins and Tua, and the Panthers and Bryce Young.
Good calls.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Not going to spend too much time looking at those. This is where it gets interesting. He gives 10 teams that he still is not certain of what they're going to do at quarterback. 4 teams that are to be determined. The Saints with Derek Carr. Now, they've come out and said they're going to run it back with Derek Carr, but still not very confident there.
Very confident.
If something opens up, they'll go for it. The Vikings with J.J. McCarthy. Well, it's true. They are going to start J.J. McCarthy at quarterback this season. He's not going to be healthy by the first game of the year, so they're probably going to have to make some sort of move at quarterback.
That's crazy. That injury is so...
I know, right?
Crazy.
The third team, this is where I think it actually gets interesting, is the Colts and Anthony Richardson. He looks terrible.
Yeah,
just calling his fate his fate.
He's not good, dude.
It might be time for the Colts to do something. The 4th team is the Seahawks and Geno Smith. I don't think there's as much there. And then there's 6 teams, he says, that are just completely open for business. We've been talking about them all offseason. The Browns, the Giants, the Jets, the Raiders, the Steelers, and the Titans.
Open for business.
So I kind of wanted to just go team by team here and look at his suggestions and kind of break down where we could go this offseason in terms of the quarterbacks, because it's a fun offseason in terms of quarterbacks. I feel like it's not always this wide open. He starts with is it the Browns? Yes. Starts with the Browns. This was his prediction for the Browns this offseason, and I think this one is juicy. Browns get Kirk Cousins and then also draft Jalen Milroe, the quarterback out of Alabama. His reasonings here is Kevin Stefanski had worked very closely with Kirk Cousins. He was his quarterback's coach and offensive coordinator of the Vikings for a couple of years. You look at Kirk Cousins, yes, he had a bad season last year. It was also his first season coming off of a terrible Achilles injury. Deshaun Watson's not cutting it for multiple reasons. You're not going to run it back with Jameis Winston. Trying to save face here as the Browns. Go get Cousins to hold it down for a year and develop Jalen Milroe. Big Dawg, what do you think about it?
Yeah? No, listen, I'm a big fan. Milroe's not that good, but for some reason, I'm kind of a fan of him. I think he has potential.
I am with you.
I watched some crazy games.
He's so exciting.
Yeah, I've watched him play some insane games at Alabama. Like whether it would be that most recent Alabama-Georgia game that happened this past season, which was crazy.
That's right.
Alabama-Auburn last season was crazy when he... Dude, I think he's good.
What was it? It was like 4th and 24 or whatever
they
it was.
scored a touchdown on like the final play. Yeah, I think for some reason he's got like some kind of spark, some kind of jolt. He's not a top 5 or top 10 kind of like pick or like anything like that.
It'll probably be second, third.
But he is some guy where I think dude, why not the Browns like take a chance on that? He's gonna play the same style of football as Deshaun Watson's gonna play, and he might even do
probably better.
Exactly.
Right? And then like that's better. Not trying to be hot takey. Watson can't run anymore, man.
Dude, so I'm all for that, and I think Cousins is a fine fit. I don't think anybody really wants Cousins. I don't know how the money situation works out, where if it's like a situation where the Browns get him for like really cheap because the Falcons have to eat all of the costs, or if the Browns would have to like pay him all that money, that would definitely be. That would probably be difficult, but no, I'm good. That sounds all good. I don't think anybody else really wants Kirk Cousins. I think that would be dude. I mean, with the way that Kirk Cousins' career is going, like it seems like the story's going to the Browns. It seems like you're trending towards the Browns.
See what you can do with the Browns,
and that might be it. Yeah, it might be it. You might go. Maybe you go 7-9 with the Browns.
And listen, the Browns. Look, I don't want to say it's a death sentence, but I don't think of the Browns. I think of quarterback development. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I do think Jalen Milroe could be the sneaky prospect where if we had talked about this 10 weeks ago, let's say, middle of the season, we're talking about Jalen Milroe as a first-round draft pick. He had a rough end of his career.
Yeah, for sure.
He had a rough end of his college career. There's no doubt about that. But I do think Jalen Milroe could be a very fun sleeper, especially when we're getting into football breaks next season.
Kind of like that. What's the guy's? Who's the backup on the Patriots?
Joe Milton.
Yeah. Like he came out looking really good, and nobody really expected that. No, I feel like that's kind of like what you could see with somebody like Jalen Milroe or something.
I would love that. I would love that as well. And I think it's recency bias. I don't blame anyone. It's the lasting image of Jalen Milroe that we have. It's not great. He lost to Michigan in the bowl game. Really trying to. But I do think this idea where the Browns would get Kirk Cousins, draft Jalen Milroe a little bit later, and not use your first-round draft pick on him, and kind of let him develop. I love that. Now, this is where it gets really spicy, though. The New York Giants. You kind of alluded to this one. And my guy Rosenblatt over here at The Athletic says...
Aaron Rodgers,
but he also says Jackson Dart. So I like this as well.
Kind of a similar situation with what we just talked about with the Browns.
And I do think this is going to be the hot thing to do in the NFL for the next few years at least. For the past, I want to say 10 years, right? I talked about this on a recent show. Since the Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III, Russell Wilson draft in 2013, it has been the expectation that you draft a guy, he starts, and he lights it up immediately. That is just not the case.
Yeah, not anymore, for sure.
I do think that this is going to be a trend we see, and Rosenblatt here says Aaron Rodgers to the Giants and Jackson Dart to the Giants as well as a backup here. It makes sense, and I'll take it a step further here, why it makes sense. Aaron Rodgers, he has a house in New Jersey. He bought a house in New Jersey this past year.
He's there.
Rosenblatt says, based on that alone, he's probably going to stay on the East Coast, probably going to stay close to the New York area. Why not go to the Giants? They're desperate to win now with Joe Shane, Brian Dable hanging on to their jobs by a thread. And then part 2 of this, the Giants, if you're trying to win now, you know who else comes there in Rodgers most likely? The guy who just got released yesterday, Davante Adams. So you package it up, get the band back together. Yeah.
Just on the other side of New York.
And for 95% of teams in the NFL, that sounds like hell.
But dude, you have neighbors, you have Davante Adams, you have Aaron Rodgers.
Compared to what did they go, 3-14 last year? Listen, for a team, you sign a 1 year.
It just sounds so good on paper. Right? It sounds so good on paper.
What else are you going to do if you're the New York Giants? I don't even think this is like that speculatory. This isn't even like hot takey. This isn't even like, oh, could you imagine? This to me, it's Occam's razor for my science folks out there. It's the simplest solution for all parties involved, I think. I love it. And then I think Rosenblatt takes it a step further by saying drafting Jackson Dart, which I think has been a hot name as we get closer to the draft. Late first round pick, maybe. I don't know the deal. Early second round. But regardless, drafting Jackson Dart, letting him develop under Aaron Rodgers. And there's also, he took a step further by saying, there is a misconception here. Aaron Rodgers was actually liked by some of the veterans in that Jets locker room. Mm-hmm. People look at what happened with Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and said, he can't develop young quarterbacks. Are we sure it's not the other way around? And Zach Wilson's just not really that developable? Look at Jordan Love in Green Bay. I think this makes perfect sense. I know I've been yapping Big Dog, but I think you're in step with this one too.
Yeah. No. I'm in step with that one.
Yeah. I think it just makes the most sense.
Yeah, it makes sense of the insane dude, Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers just moving across town.
I think it'll happen. I don't think it'll piss Jets fans off because they can't be hurt even more.
Poor Davante Adams. His career, because I feel like his career is like could be better, but he keeps following around Aaron Rodgers. Like, you know what I mean? He really wants to play. Like,
why should have listened to his mom and made better friends?
Why didn't they just both stay on the Packers, dude? Like, they were fine on the Packers.
That's a good question. Like, they did miss their playoffs that last year, so maybe they weren't fine.
Yeah.
But
I think I think there's deeper things with Rodgers and Matt LaFleur and whatnot, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, why are we moving? Moving on to the next team?
Yeah, moving on to the next team because I think it makes so much sense. But when you break it down at its root,
it's just like doesn't make sense.
What the hell is going on here? This one I found interesting. So we said this was one of those teams that were in the to be determined category. The Indianapolis Colts. Colts. They have them signing Sam Darnold and then benching Anthony Richardson for a year.
That's good.
And this seems like a Chris Ballard move. Chris Ballard on the hot seat. You know, Jim Irsay, now the worst owner in the NFL, now that Dan Snyder's gone. I would say Jim Irsay, the worst owner of the NFL. What you were about to...
Probably.
Okay, I thought you were going to throw
worst
someone...
and maybe the most psychotic
Woody Johnson? Woody Johnson and Jim Irsay are going tit for tat there.
Dude, Irsay's crazy.
But long story short, short blurb on this one is basically saying, I don't know how you go into the season just saying Anthony Richardson, turn it around. You know, you're going to need some magic. You're going to need some massive changes in one offseason, which it's going to be hard to bet on. And Sam Darnold, look, I think it's safe. It's better than Anthony Richardson. I don't know if this is a long-term solution. I think it's still back to the drawing board if you're Indianapolis.
When I think of the team that the Vikings have on offense and defense, just in my head, it just sounds better than the Colts. So
100%.
I think this would be a very good place for Darnold because you would actually see if he is as good as he was in Minnesota, like if he can keep up that consistency, or when you put him in like a situation where like he actually needs to like come up clutch and like be that guy, if he like comes through, or if he's like Jets Darnold again. You know what I mean? Like,
that's your last two games of the season, Darnold.
Yeah, exactly. So I like putting him in like a tougher, like a situation like that, one that like has potential. It's not like throwing him on the Browns or like throwing him on like, you know.
Right, like what's even the point of that?
Yeah.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Without looking, what was the Colts record last year?
Oh God, dude, it was probably bad. I want to say it was probably, let's go 6-11.
I would have thought that too. Colts went 8-9 last year.
Interesting.
So if the Colts went
with Joe Flacco winning some of those games,
Joe Flacco won a couple of those games. Anthony Richardson won a couple of those games. Their defense, Jonathan Taylor won a couple of those games. So like, if you just get a replacement level quarterback with Sam Darnold, and you went 8-9 last year.
And I'm trying to think of like what kind of weird, wonky games they might have lost. That like if you put Darnold in, like could flip the script and make it like 10-7 or something like that.
There you go. I think that is definitely an interesting one. It's not very sexy, but I do think it makes sense.
Yeah.
This is where things get a little wacky.
Okay, we need to get into some wacky stuff. I'm ready for something controversial.
Jets. Now this one's more wacky for what it does to a later team. Jets. Justin Fields.
Dude, I've been saying this. Like, I've been saying this. Again, everybody here is Jets fans. I've been like, I can already see the Steelers losing Justin Fields and going to the Jets. But I can see him probably not being good on the Jets.
It's just disgusting to me. Now, here's the thing.
I think that's so realistic. Like, so realistic.
They say Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and then one other thing. Mm-hmm. They also say the Jets draft Will Howard.
Sure.
As a development. Now, Ben, you mind pulling this up? It's the plus Will Howard. Have you seen Will Howard's combine?
Dude, yeah. Oh, boy.
Who's seen this?
Who has seen this?
So I have
seen... This is something I got to catch over there.
And yeah, we'll let this play. We can talk over this as well. And I'm not a combine guy. I'm not a combine guy at all. But damn, man. It was one of the worst collection of clips and throws I have seen from any quarterback on Twitter.
Maybe this is why Shadur isn't throwing.
Yeah. And because, look, Will Howard made some very good throws during the college football playoff. I'm not saying totally give up on Will Howard.
This hurts to watch, man. This is...
But I'm just saying the Jets drafting this guy could not be more on brand. Like, I don't know if Woody Johnson's kids they got Will Howard's, like, college football playoff ultimate team card in NCAA 25.
Yeah.
And they're like...
he's like 95 overall.
Yeah, and they're like, you got to get Will. He makes some crazy throws. So I don't know about this one here. It would be so Jets. Listen, I like Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. I want him to succeed. I enjoy watching him when he's playing well. Getting Justin Fields and the Jets is just 3-14 again.
Yeah.
3-14 all over again.
I feel, dude, I think
Plus the Will
that
Howard
is
thing.
so realistic to happen. The Steelers,
I do too.
The Steelers will not keep him. I can't wait to hear the Steelers option is.
I don't even want to say it. It's so bad. You got a couple more teams to go. Raiders, we've been on this one the entire offseason. Me and Big Dawg said this one first.
Come on,
Russell Wilson.
Dude, makes
so much sense.
I love this list because, again, it just goes to show that we've been talking about this. When did this article get published?
Yesterday.
Exactly. We've been talking about this for the past 2 weeks, and we've been already piecing the puzzle together and placing these guys in these spots.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Give me Russell Wilson. Give me Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Run it back for 1 year. They'll probably go 5-12 or something like that. But it's something.
It'll be nostalgic.
Yeah, come on. And it's good for Brock Bowers. They also think...
Yeah, good for Brock Bowers.
This article also thinks the Raiders are going to draft Quinn Ewers. That I just shrug my shoulders and go, yeah, I think we're on the same page on that one. But Russell Wilson, the Raiders, makes sense. Not too much about that one. Saints. This is maybe my favorite one of the entire list. Saints stick with Derek Carr, and they draft Shedeur Sanders. What
draft pick do they have?
So the Saints don't have much of an avenue to improve their position. They're stuck with Carr, $47 million over the cap, so they're not going to make a lot of moves. They're going to stick with Carr. This is what they're thinking. The writer of this article, I think it's conceivable that Shedeur drops out of the top 5. And the way people have been talking about it, it does sound like it's trending that way. Saints are at the number 9 spot. So this would require Shedeur falling. All these teams are, they're out on Shedeur. It's Cam Ward or bust, I'm hearing, for a lot of these teams.
Is that what I'm hearing? Because I heard Shedeur wasn't throwing at the combine and wasn't doing a bunch of things. And, dude, my mom texted me. She's like, why is Shedeur Sanders not throwing it? And she's like, is he good? Does he really think he's that good? And I was like, that's what he thinks.
Shout out Mrs. Big Dawg over here.
I do hear him falling out, and it is Cam Ward, and I hear about all these trades, and Titans might trade, and this team might trade, and this team might trade, and Shedeur's in none of those conversations.
It's
of those
wild.
Trades, yeah.
I loved watching Shedeur at Colorado, but it just sounds like the closer we're getting towards the draft, the more people are calling Shedeur's bluff, and they're saying, listen, man.
So I wonder what has caused that. What event became where that turned again, he didn't throw at the combine, so it's not like we saw Will Howard tape. Maybe it's I don't know if it's the attitude somewhere between then and there, or if top scouts and analysts are just getting bad feels about the guy.
I think maybe it's kind of always been this way. Just people talking heads are oh, look at Shedeur, look at Coach Prime. He's got to go top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
And as we get closer towards the draft, we're getting more information from the teams, and they're saying, we don't want to mortgage our whole future on this guy. We're not so sold on him.
Because again, it was like Shedeur was set to go to the Giants. After the Super Bowl, I bet I could have found a news story saying that Shedeur was going to the Giants. You know what I mean? Something like that. And obviously, it's clearly not like that anymore. I wonder severely changed.
I wonder if that's part of it as well, is that the Giants were the big team that they were going to get him. And now the more you're hearing, it sounds like less and less the Giants do not want Shedeur. They're talking about the Giants.
Aaron Rodgers and Davante sounds so much better
than Shedeur Sanders.
I would take Aaron Rodgers and Davante over.
And then try again next year, see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it'll probably be just 1 year. But yeah, that makes sense to me for the Saints.
So back to the Saints real quick. Derek Carr, from what I'm getting, they're not that they are just kind of playing him because they have him.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they want to play him, but they don't want to play Rattler. I feel like.
Well, here's the thing. You can't do anything with Derek Carr, right? You're paying him $40 million. Why not play?
But think about how the season started, and I know it was only 2 or 3 games. Dude,
2 games, yeah.
2 games. They were electric, man.
And
they were electric.
They almost beat the Eagles on week 3, if you remember. They should have. I think the game was 15-12.
Some kind of weird score, yeah. They looked fine. Shaquille got hurt, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
Carr ended up getting hurt.
Yeah, and it all fell apart.
And they had that horrible coach. That guy should not have
Dennis
been.
Allen?
Yeah. That guy should have no.
And they're placing with the Rizzler.
Yeah.
Darren Rizzi.
So I'm actually interested to see what the Saints do, because it's possible Carr comes out maybe looking. I mean, they have Olave, they have Shaheed, they have these receivers.
They have
to
Alvin Kamara, they have Kellen Moore now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The thing is with the Saints, it's a broken record. We've been saying that for years now, and it's just the Bucs winning that division
It's kind
time
of
after time.
It's kind of like the Saints are kind of like a little bit of a Steelers. Ever since they lost Breeze, there hasn't been a solution to figure it out. So
Steelers, Giants, and Saints. You had this one quarterback, you lose him.
Yeah,
what do you do? Colts too.
Colts had luck for a little bit. But.
Man, what could have been? I almost feel bad for Colts fans. All right, Big Dawg, you ready for this one?
Yeah, let's hear this.
Dude, it's so bad. Daniel Jones.
No!
Steelers
No!
get Daniel Jones. My guy Rosenblatt admits, I'll be honest, had the hardest time predicting the Steelers out of all
Trey P,
teams.
help me out. Please say no.
Out of all teams. He says, I'll be honest, I had the hardest time predicting what Pittsburgh does. A lot of noise about the Steelers keeping Fields or Wilson, but there's also a lot of noise about Mason Rudolph or Kenny Pickett just a year ago. I think Fields would ultimately choose the Jets over the Steelers. Keep in mind, Pittsburgh benched him last season, even though he's playing well, so why would he come back? I think that's a really good point. He decided to go with the Jets for the field. He says it was a close call. Also considered Cousins or Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. I know you don't want either of those guys. He also doesn't think the Steelers pick a quarterback in the first round.
No.
Which is why he believes, and I haven't heard too much of this guy, by the way. He also, Tyler Shaw? Who is this guy? You know?
No,
I'm not
on the
familiar with him.
Steelers?
No, he's a rookie. Tyler Shaw out of Louisville. All of a sudden, this guy's picking up steam. I think he had a very good combine. I am not too familiar with that. Trey, I know. Trey says shield your eyes, shield your ears. But this sounds like hell for the Steelers. It says pairing Daniel Jones with a developmental day 2 or day 3 draft pick, keeping the Arthur Smith run-heavy offense.
Oh, God.
He also says I could see the Pittsburgh Steelers bringing in a third veteran quarterback in the conversation. It doesn't get better. Carson Wentz?
What? For what? Why are we bringing in Carson Wentz?
Jimmy Garoppolo? Jameis Winston? Or Gardner Minshew? Steelers fan.
This is where we're at.
Is this really where we're at?
Why can't we just sign Fields? Like, why can't we just sign Fields?
He's saying in this world, the Steelers and the Jets are going to come to Fields with similar deals.
And he's gonna pick the Jets. Yeah.
And he's going to pick the Jets because he's going to say, well, I played damn. What were they? 5-2 with Fields last year? No,
4-2.
4-2 with Fields last year, and you benched him and got worse. If I'm just with Fields, I take that personally. I say, you know what? Appreciate it, Mike. I hope we keep a good relationship, but respectively, I'm going to start with the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm going to go start with the Jets because, like you said, if you're the Steelers, he has them drafting a late quarterback. He also has them signing another veteran quarterback. So why would you trust them again? Go to the Jets. It might be a bleep show over in New York or New Jersey, but at least I can trust. And Steen says pronounced Shuck. I'm sorry. I've not heard of Tyler Shuck too much. I don't watch ACC football. By the way, Tyler Shuck is 25 years old.
He's pushing it, dude.
Like, I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts is 26. I could be wrong.
He's been to 2 Super Bowls,
yeah,
like 4 seasons.
Steelers. Is this it?
Dude,
Big Dawg, come on. You could think of something better than this,
dude,
right?
I can literally think of something better than
Steve says
that.
Brandon Weeden 2.0.
Yeah,
oh,
dude,
my goodness.
Who is making these decisions, dude? Like, and pairing up Daniel Jones with Arthur Smith, that just sounds like a catastrophe, man. That sounds like, what the heck?
I mean, I don't know how Tomlin's going to do it. This might be the toughest one, and we've said it for years and years. Might be the toughest one for Tomlin to go above 500. I tell you what, Big Dawg, it's getting scary, and
it's time we don't go above 500.
I know you've been banging that drum. You've been the first guy I heard that said, you know what, I'm tired of Tomlin, and you're a good fan, Big Dawg. I feel for you. This was the moment for me where I sat up my seat and was like,
Daniel Jones,
Steelers. Oh no, Rye, are you a Steelers fan?
Rye's a Steelers fan, yeah.
Rye, I always knew you as the baseball side of things, Rye. Rodgers inbound, I don't think so. I think Rodgers is going to go to the Giants. I really do.
Yeah, Rye, that's what we broke down. Shouldn't have gone to that conclusion too soon. Should have started with Rodgers to the Steelers before I was so quick on Rodgers to the Giants. And
It is 10 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. 10 a.m. You know what that means. Where's Rec at? You can thank Rec for this one, by the way. Because Rec says, Josh, give me a trivia question. I came up with a good one today, I believe. Baseball trivia. In the last 10 years, a lot of teams have been in the playoffs. But there's a few teams that have not won a playoff game in 10 years. So the question is, which of these 4 teams I'm about to list has won a playoff game in the last 10 years? Which, I'll say it one time again. Which of these MLB teams have won a playoff game in the last 10 years? So 3 of these 4 teams I'm about to list have not won a playoff game in the last 10 years. The Orioles, the Reds, the Marlins, and the Angels. Which of these MLB teams have won a playoff game in the last 10 years? 30 seconds on the clock on that one. We're going to get that up. Bingo! Which of these NFL teams have won a playoff game in the last 10 years? What do we got? What do we got here? I think this is a tough one. We'll see who can take this one down. Where's Rec at? This is for you. You have one man to blame if we don't get this one right today. Who do we have? I don't think we're getting it. I'm waiting to see. And the winner is... The Orioles is incorrect.
Dude, there was a furious push coming in for, was it the Marlins?
The Marlins was correct. Marlins
there was a push.
One off.
There was a push coming at the end.
I want to give away slabs. I want to give away cards. But when you talked that smack at me yesterday, I went in the lab this morning and I fired back today. I knew it. Can you believe that? The Marlins have won a playoff game in the last 10 years, but the Orioles have not. The Orioles have been to the playoffs in 2, maybe 3 consecutive years.
Yeah, past?
Nada. Zip. Nothing to count for. Godzilla says they don't count. That was the COVID year, for those who remember. The COVID year. The Marlins got in and won a playoff game, too, that year. They did not advance, but they did win a single playoff game. They also got into the playoffs. And Rye says it doesn't count. Mickey Mouse. But in the scheme of MLB playoff games in the last 10 years, they have won one. Always got swept twice in a row. They barely scored a run twice in a row. So Orioles, it's crazy. They made the playoffs, have not won one. Angels also made the playoffs, did not win one. I feel like the Reds, they haven't made the playoffs in a hot minute. Yeah, there you go. So at 10:45, we will be giving away a card, slab or no slab, at 10:45 Eastern time. No trivia questions attached. You got to thank your friend, good old Rectum. And that's WRCEKDM in case you're new to the program. I'm just not naming, bad parts of the body here, all right? I'll tell you that much. But nonetheless, 10:45, we're going to be running that thing back. Slab or no slab, no trivia question attached. Moving on, though, Big Dawg, we got 2 more teams to look at, I believe. Let me pull this back up. 2 more teams to look at here. This one I found interesting, and I think it's simple. The Titans. A lot of talk about the Titans trading this first overall pick, but the Athletic here, Rosenblatt says...
Cam Ward,
which...
I think so.
Kind of had me wondering, why has there been all this talk about the Titans trading the first overall pick? You look at what they've done. I looked at Will Levis's numbers from last season. Jarring. Will Levis
sucks.
2-10 with 18 turnovers and 13 touchdowns last year. Why would you not take a quarterback with the first overall pick?
And I like the Titans have that new coach too. It was his first season this past year. I
can't remember, man.
Forget what. I can't remember either.
To be honest.
But he's really young. Looked like he had some fight in him. He would he would be screaming at Levis after those dumb plays, and I loved it. I was like, you know what I mean? At least
meme material.
At least he's dude, those plays by Levis were horrible. No, I think go with Cam Ward. I think young coach, brand new, start all fresh. Levis, dude, you cannot play that guy and do that again. The fans of Tennessee cannot go through that. You have Mason Rudolph. Hopefully he stays as the backup. He's actually a good backup.
There you go.
That's all he's actually good at is being a backup. He's not a starter. And, dude, the Titans were good 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It's not like they've been poverty for, the past 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's only been a couple years. I feel like it's...
One denominator, though, missing. Derrick Henry.
For sure.
I mean, that's I feel like, where it starts and ends. I will say to your point, though, Jeffrey Simmons.
But that's the thing. But again, you haven't been bad for too long. Bring in the new denominator while you can.
Yeah.
Bring it while the iron's hot. Bring in Cam Ward. Try to make that your denominator and give your city 10 more years of being good. You know what I mean? You've only been bad. Again, they made I don't know. They never made an AFC championship, but they definitely made the playoffs and were able to beat the Ravens and beat good
the Patriots.
teams.
I think that's what you're thinking of.
Beat the Patriots. They were in the playoffs. So again, they've been good in recent years. Again, Derrick Henry it wasn't Ryan Tannehill carrying that team. So in this sense, when you have this opportunity, I think you take Cam Ward.
Why not?
It's not. You don't take Shadur Sanders. You know what I mean? I think Cam Ward is the easier choice here. So
on that note, Ben, would you mind flashing up this picture? It's Giants and Titans. Same odds. This happened yesterday as well. So kind of sticking with Cam Ward here. The Giants and the Titans now have the same odds to draft the first overall pick according to DraftKings. So this changed yesterday too. Titans at -105 and the Giants at -105.
Okay, so it's going to be one of them.
To pick first. So this, to me, it's saying the Giants are either getting Aaron Rodgers or Cam Ward. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the heck is going on.
I like that because that really gives you a bunch of information. Like the odds do give you that information.
Yesterday.
That is literally saying what you just said. They are either, that's what you're betting on there. Like you're 50-50. You're either getting Aaron Rodgers or they're getting Cam Ward.
I gotta give the Giants credit because
that's crazy
that's
Giants, how the situation is. That gives a lot of information.
It's been terrible.
Terrible.
And I almost feel bad for them. I don't.
Why was it good like 2 years ago, though?
The Giants?
Yeah.
They made the playoffs.
I know. Why was it like kind of good?
It's Saquon. They made the playoffs. You know, who knows?
Just an anomaly.
Daniel Jones, maybe he is good. And then, boom.
No, it's been bad for it's like just poverty.
It's been poverty. Now, if you're the Giants, I do feel like it's like a win-win. Either you get the first overall pick. Let's see what this guy's got. Or you get the circus coming to town, Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. I think it's very exciting. Now, I'm reading what it would take to get that first overall pick. Multiple evaluators polled, believe a package of picks, a future second rounder, an early day 3 pick would be enough for a team like the Giants to move from number 3 to number 1. So it doesn't sound like a ton. Trade next year's second, trade a 4th round pick this year, and then swap 3 and 1 with the Titans. And I also got to thinking, if you're the Titans, like, why would you want, like we were just talking about, why would you want to trade out of the first overall pick? Do you remember in any sports recently a team trading down from the 1st to 3rd overall pick? Now, I have some baggage with me, but I thought of a recent example.
In a recent draft, like in the past couple years?
Past 10 years, I would say.
Okay, who was it?
Eliano's got it. Eliano has nailed it.
Okay, there we go.
Celtics, Sixers, Jason Tatum, and Markelle Fultz. And I am not saying this is what it's going to be, but I do think there is some sort of human element. Ellie, I am a Sixers fan. I'm a Sixers fan, which is why it immediately popped in my brain. Yep. Don't get us going. Don't get us going. I already did a eulogy for Embiid this week. But I do think there is something to be said about saying, I'm not too sold on this first overall guy. Let me trade down, go 3rd, and then I look like a genius no matter what. I get picks, I get extra assets, and there's still going to be a really good player at 3rd overall no matter what. NFT's right as well. Stop rubbing it in. They also have their chance at Jaylen Brown. Yes, I know, Tack. Come on now. But I do think there is some sort of human element that says, listen, if you want to give all this up, and if the first overall pick busts, that's not on me. That's now on you. Pressure's off me now. I just got these draft picks. I can take whoever I want at 3rd overall. You're guaranteed at 3rd overall, by the way, one of Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, which I think a lot of people are saying are even better.
What about Abdul Carter, though?
That's what I mean. Like, what do you mean?
He has that potential surgery that he needs.
I did see that. I'm not... I don't know.
Is that not a big deal yet?
I don't know.
Is it too early to talk about that?
For me, it is.
Because the thing was, needs to decide whether he needs to get surgery. Yeah. It wasn't like needs surgery. It was like...
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's a freak.
I got a bunch of notifications about it.
Really?
Like, yeah.
It's a slow time. It's a slow season for the NFL, you know? So it's like there's some news. And that's true. You can't look back and blame the Lakers over taking Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball was awesome. The whole big baller brand at the time. Who could have seen this coming with Lonzo Ball's injury? I do think there's a world in which Lonzo Ball really ends up...
One of them is now a rapper.
Yeah. What a family, dude.
What a family.
Well,
the dad got his foot amputated last week.
I feel bad for him. That's horrible.
I know, he has no foot.
He's no foot.
His son's a rapper. The one kid keeps getting injured.
Alonzo.
Yeah.
LaMelo's just doing his thing in Charlotte. Who knows? LeVar was right. We should have listened to him. He was right. They were all stars. But there you go. I mean, Maverick never understood Fultz. Agree. Don't blame Lakers for Ball. Maverick. Dude, Fultz was so good. Maverick, I don't want to do this. Don't do this to me, man. The allergies are killing me today. I can't do Markelle Fultz talk, although I did bring it upon myself. Fultz at the time was viewed as like the generational guy, Ball, right, don't blame him for Ball. And then Tatum, God, I don't want to do this, Big Dawg. Nonetheless, that is some of the NFL draft news. His team couldn't win 10 games in college. That was actually Ben Simmons. I think Fultz did win a few more games. Ben Simmons couldn't win 10 games in college. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right about that, Maverick. Oh, Lord. We could do it all. We could do a whole show on the Sixers' shortcomings. Last little bits of NFL news. We actually had a ton of NFL news now that I'm thinking about it. Davante Adams released yesterday.
I mean, obviously.
Clears $30 million for the Jets. we always knew the Jets were going to release him, but damn, when I see a number like that, I am like, wow.
Yeah, that's
$30 million clear.
They brought him over there for how much money were they?
On the hook for? Yeah, I don't know.
What are you doing, man?
His potential landing spots, I read 6 of them. Green Bay, makes sense to me.
Go back home.
Go back home. Familiarity, could be the missing piece.
Jordan Love would be good.
Jordan Love talked about it. He said, I would love to have him back. We had a great relationship. Never got a chance to really be the starting quarterback for him. The Steelers, another one of those landing spots. I don't see it happening. Steelers obviously need a receiver. Could teach Pickens a thing or two. And probably not going to happen. Next, this is my pick. And this is where I think it gets spicy. The Washington Commanders. You throw caution to the wind. You go all in on your skill positions. And I think it makes sense.
Just got Debo.
Daniel's under a rookie deal, and you have Debo signed for 1 year. That's the thing about why it makes sense, is because if Debo stinks this year, it doesn't really matter. It's just 1 year. You have so much space.
He might suck.
He might suck. And you say, you know what?
The 49ers wanted to get literally just gave him away. Like, they didn't even want him. He might suck. He literally might suck.
But now you add Davante Adams to this team. Terry McLaurin on one side. You have Davante Adams on the other side. You line Debo up as a slot kind of guy, like a gadget guy running end rounds motion with Debo.
Yeah. You get that.
And then you have McLaurin and you have Davante Adams. This is the one that makes the most sense to me and has me shaking in my boots a little bit as an Eagles fan. Like, holy crap. Like, who are you stopping? You said Ertz. Yeah, we'll see. I think he's 35, 36 years old.
But just
still.
like all the weapons and the things that you can do to throw off different defenses, and like you have all 3 of those good wide receivers, and you know you have another tight end that can also catch and like make plays.
That's my pick. I would love to see Davante. Now, I would not love to see it as an Eagles fan, but as a NFL fan,
dude, that's how you have to. You want to win the Super Bowl? Why not?
Load up.
Yeah, load up.
Other team I saw was the Broncos. I don't see that happening. Just like a fit. If you're Davante Adams and you're choosing between the Commanders, you're choosing between the
You think
Packers?
Davante Adams wants a kid and Bo Nix thrown at him? You know what I mean? Like the ball gets intercepted, Davante's going to be so mad.
Maybe they just offer him a bunch of money, but I don't see that one happening. And the other one that I think is interesting is the Chargers. Chargers are desperate for that alpha kind of receiver. I think Ladd's a good piece. I even think Quentin Johnson could be decent, but he could be decent as a 3rd, 4th kind of, special player. Chargers are the 5th most cap space this offseason. And the reason that I think this could work, Justin Herbert, as I call him, Justin 4 interceptions Herbert now. But he will sling the rock sometimes. The way Davante Adams is best is when he has a guy just throw it up to him. Mm-hmm. I think Herbert could be that kind of guy, and maybe...
Yeah, they could just yeet it up there.
Yeah, yeet it up there. I like that one. Yeet it up there, and, I could see that happening there. So those are your teams. You got a favorite? Are you with me with Washington there?
Yeah, I like Washington.
Yeah.
Or, again, I like him going. I also do just like him going to whatever team Rodgers goes to, because I think that's funny.
I do too.
I think that's fun.
Too. Yeah, that's a 6 one.
Dude, I love that picture.
Honestly, I think that's what's going to happen.
That picture of Rodgers and Davante Adams on the McAfee show. You know, that picture where, like, Davante Adams is, like, peeking in on the back of the Zoom call, and it's like... They went in for $50 million just to take this photo. Like,
it's worth it.
All
man.
the memes are hilarious on that photo.
I love it. And guess who's gonna eat it up and bet on them every Sunday? This guy. Sucker me in. And then just quickly, the last news we had from the NFL yesterday: Saquon Barkley.
Money.
2 years, $41 million. Eagles extend Saquon Barkley, highest paid running back in NFL history. I don't think this is crazy. I think it actually makes sense. Read this tweet that says the Eagles extend players a year before we all think they should. A, it keeps their cap fluid and controllable. B, it rewards players with upfront cash. C, it is noticed by every player and agent throughout the NFL. It is no accident that this contract was announced a week before free agency. And also, this is the brilliance of Howie Roseman. Cloud, the city of Philly can't survive another championship celebration. We'll wait to see. But here's what I think got interesting, Cloud Jedi, because when I first saw it, I was like, I don't give a damn about if this makes sense or not. Pay the guy, Saquon Barkley, give him whatever the hell he wants, because I think he deserves it. But then I look deeper into this. It makes sense. Free agents in next season's free agent class, 2026. Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, James Cook. 2027 free agent running backs: Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Whoa.
The next 2 seasons of free agency for running backs, I think this is going to be another one of those moves where you look at it now and you go, damn, highest paid running back, unprecedented move. No.
It's going to get crazy.
This is Howie Roseman getting ahead of the curve by saying, it's 2017.
Dude, Howie Roseman knows what he's doing. He just knows what he's doing.
2017, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, which, by the way, when we talk about investing in cards, those are the two guys that I'd be investing in. We're seeing more love in the running back card market. Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. We already saw what happened with Saquon Barkley this season.
Yeah.
Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs are the next two. And then, look, Jonathan Taylor, I feel bad for him because he is with the Colts. But Jonathan Taylor, when he gets another deal, I do think he's going to have a year or two left on his legs. What top 5 running back in the NFL?
Yeah.
I think it's another brilliant move by Howie Roseman because you look at the upcoming seasons, it's about to get nuts in the running back market. Howie Roseman getting ahead of the curve. Chef's kiss. Shout out Howie. Let's get to some card news, Big Dawg, because I have missed this. We were tracking it last week, and I kind of dropped the ball not bringing this up a little bit sooner. I think we talked about this last week. The Cheetozard!
Dude, the Cheetozard, man.
In case you've been living under a rock, it sold. Did you see how much it sold for?
87,000? The Cheetozard. Do we got a picture of the Cheetozard?
We got a picture of it. Ben, it's the official golden auction listing.
Dude, I can't believe it went through golden too, like a real auction house, and 87K is a lot of money for the Cheetozard. Is it graded or anything?
Is it graded? I don't think so, Big Dawg. I don't think so. I don't think PSA would grade it. I don't think Beckett would grade it.
It's in a case. How is it on a card though?
I don't know. It's super glued on. I know we've talked about this ad nauseum. I just can't freaking believe guys. If there's any reason to hop in on this random Bowman HTA draft, if someone's paying $87,000 for a Cheetozard, we could spend $120 for a Bowman HTA case print. I don't think I'm asking too much, guys. I'm sorry. It's just, this will never cease to amaze me. There is so much of this hobby that is cool, and then I see something like that makes me want to up and leave and just get out of it altogether. Because what are we doing, Big Dawg? Oh,
I love the Cheetozard.
I guess, man. I just needed to put some closure on this thing. Aliens see how we are using our technology and choose not to visit. Yeah, I like that one, Cloud. They're
like, nah.
They see that and they go, you know what? Let them figure it out. They're better off without us. Good Lord, they're doing us a favor. There's your Cheetozard. Another thing here. I've been going down a patch. I've been obsessed with patches lately in terms of cards. I've never been a patchman, really. I appreciate a good patch. But I've never been when I'm looking for cards, autograph this, autograph that.
Yeah.
Can we, Ben, is it let's see, the I can't get over this. Yeah, it's just our Nick Castellanos card here. This one.
Oh, yeah, with the giant Phillies patch?
Yeah, and this, it went mini viral lately. Topps was tweeting it, a couple other posts were tweeting it.
Side note, if anybody ever needs some entertainment, if you ever go to the comment section on any one of our not our posts, but when we get reposted, dude, the comments are just
I know.
gold. When we hit the Aaron Judge patch, it was an R, and every single comment was like, well, tell me where the R is on the Aaron Judge jersey. And
Chani said, literally the R in New York. I don't know.
Oh my God, are these people serious?
So yeah, this was, just in case you've been living under a rock.
This is sick. This is so cool.
And then I saw another one. This does it for me too. Shout out Kreger. Kreger sent this one to me. It's the Pedro Martinez 2009 World Series patch. Another Phillies one as well here. People forget Pedro Martinez on the Phillies.
Oh.
Look at this, man. Both from Definitive. Definitive, really, I keep saying it. Best product of the year. It got me thinking, man. I think I would rather have these than a superfractor at certain points. Now, not all superfractors are created equally, right? But the beauty of this patch, because I know people, the champagne swirlies, it's just got that awesome look of a superfractor, the gold vinyl. It's hard to beat it. But I would rather have one of these just chunky, beautiful patches, because if you're not in this game for the flips, for the money, and if you're just in this for just appreciating an awesome card, I would much rather have these, I think, than a superfractor. Does that make me crazy? Because I feel crazy saying it, to be honest with you, Big Dawg. But I've been thinking about this for a week now. And it does, especially if there's ink on one of these patches.
If there was ink, then it's like...
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then I saw this, speaking of patches, I saw this awesome Juan Soto patch. Ben, if you wouldn't mind pulling that one up, I think they did Juan Soto kind of dirty on this one. Because Juan Soto, we saw the pictures going around this offseason. We were calling it Dad Bod Soto. Look at this.
Dude, whoa.
So this card is sick. And originally this card was going around because this card is freaking awesome. Like, instead of Logo Man, World Baseball Classic. Then I looked at it closer. It's not Soto's best angle,
Dude,
man.
why? Why is that the picture, man?
Right? Like, I'm not one to talk. Are you kidding me? I'm not one to talk. I've been put on quite a few pounds since I moved down to Florida. I've been working a 9 to 5. A lot of sitting. But come on, this is the picture they used for Juan Soto? Oh, man, it's a beautiful card. And people were going crazy over this card on the internet. And I looked at it, and all I could look at was like, they did Soto dirty. Like, come on now.
Dude, that's wild.
Alan,
that's a sweet card, though.
It is a sweet card. Alan's just going in a totally different direction. I like going home when I talk to Cassie, and I'm like, it's funny. You put all this time into like these topics and breaking down things from a different angle, and then the chat will go crazy with something that you never expected. Like the other day, every comment was about different NFL rules. Today we got our most comments about aliens. What does Alan got to say? Aliens are here, bro. How do you think we got that technology? You're telling me 100 years ago we had a car, and now look where we are?
Dude, we need the X-Files button.
Yeah. Alan, I mean...
JG button.
I don't know, Alan. I think we would be even farther along if aliens were here. I'm a big alien believer. If you want to know what side of the coin I am, I don't doubt the aliens are here. I don't doubt that aliens are imminent. But I don't know. I think if aliens were here, we would have better technology than that. Have you seen the technology in movies? The government has it. I don't know what you mean by that. Alan sounds a lot. Oh, that's a good point, Dash. He could be one of them trying to send us a message. Big Dawg, where do you stand on aliens?
I hope they're real.
Well, hope. We don't operate in hopes. We operate in absolutes, Big
We don't
Dawg.
know if they are or not. I want them to
Get
be
on the record. Big question today.
Would you be is it more scary? Would you be more scared?
Cloud.
Question. Here's a good alien question.
Yeah, what do we got?
Would you be more scared to find out that aliens are real, or to find out that aliens are not real and that we've been just like exhausting a bunch of resources looking for them?
I'd be more scared that aliens are not real.
Because then that would mean we are literally the only life. We are the only form of potential life.
Damn, Big Dawg.
I know, scary thought. Just saying. Just want to bring that up. But then if you find them, then we're probably like the dumbest form of people.
I would imagine that. Yeah, I would imagine we're the dumbest form of people.
So that's the thing. Like, do you want to find them or do you not want to find them?
I would take the chance. As long as I don't get enslaved. If you can guarantee me I don't get enslaved by the aliens, I would want to find them.
Yeah, no, that's
They're just gonna incinerate me. I'd sign up for that.
Scrolling through the TikTok.
Yeah. Wow.
Very deep.
Who saw this coming? 10:20, Talkin Slab on a Wednesday morning. Aliens, yay or nay? Big Dawg says that's not the right question. He says, what would you rather, they be real or not? What else is Alan saying? He's even going, if you're a scientific guy, and you look up in the stars, and you see how many stars there are, and then you realize that the sun is the only star in our galaxy, it's impossible that there's not any other life forms. There is nothing off limits on Talkin Slab. You watch Pardon My Take.
Didn't the government have like a little alien that they were playing around with or something like that? They were like poking.
Dude, whatever happened to that thing?
I don't know. There was like a Congress about it, and they were like...
You're right. I know what you're talking about here. Alan's like, let's go. Alien talk today. Nah, there's got to, you know what? And I do believe we're in the right place. If there was an alien, they would be in Florida. You know, based on all this Florida man stuff. Going to the original Hooters, you know. Ah, you humans, you got it right. That would be the problem is the alien comes down and they're like, we're worried about so much up there. We're like, these people have got it right. They just go to work and go to Hooters, and this ain't so bad after all, man. You know what? I'm liking this. The alien spinoff, and then that's how we got Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. And Jason Dominguez.
Oh, buddy. Jason Dominguez is the reject alien.
the Martian that they didn't want.
They said, Jason, dude, just go down there and botch some fly balls in left field. We're done with you, man. I tell you what, Big Dawg, I did not expect this happening today.
It's awesome.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know where to go from that, but I'm going to have to try to pivot. J-Dom, alien. Yeah. They say, this is the alien we don't want. They had Wemby. They say, you know what, we're going to give him our best. There's Wemby. We're going to give him, we're going to give him Otani. And then Dominguez, come on now. He's the runt of the litter. Come on, push him out there.
Get out there, Jason.
All right, no aliens here. You know, I've been trying to do some March Madness primers as we go on. Earth won the Wemby trade. It's true. Question is what we sent them. It's like, we'll send you the technology for a Raspberry Pi chip. Yeah. That was the one thing they were missing. And you send us Wemby. And the aliens were like, hey, 2 years, they were like a little disappointed with the chips. They're like, blood clot button. I'm sorry. We sent them Elon's car. Oh, God. Don't get me going, Cloud. Don't get me in trouble here, all right? Woo! I want to do this really pisses me off. Because I hope the aliens didn't send the no fun. We need more fun. You know, we need more fun here. Top 5 alien athlete list. Ooh, Dash. I'm gonna have to get in the lab on that one. That's a fun one. That'll be tomorrow.
That would have been a good top
Dash.
5 today if we had that. If we knew that this was gonna be the theme. But
Yao Ming will be on there, dude. You know what? Right, you're right. Yao Ming's definitely an alien. His parents are like 5'7". People don't realize that. Yao Ming is. Ooh, Yao Ming's an alien, man. That's a great one, right? This is good. Real quick before we move on. Any other alien athletes? We've named 4. Anyone that stands out? Alien athlete. Gotta be some like boxer. Michael Phelps. Yeah, like Bo Jackson. No, because Bo Jackson he fell apart. He's too human. He's getting into lawsuits with his family. That aliens would never do that.
Yeah. Not of the kind.
You know what? Maybe Antonio Brown. And he kind of like malfunctioned.
Yeah,
and everyone's kind of saying he's CTE. That could be an alien. Trying to think. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. We'll come back to this.
We'll have to revisit that.
Maybe Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, yeah, we haven't tried any females yet. Let's see how this one goes. They gave us Brittany Griner. I like that one. I think Brittany Griner could be on there. It's got me thinking here. Alien athletes. I did want to show this though last night because it pissed me off. I was in bed. What time do you go to sleep, Big Dawg?
Dude, I've been falling asleep early the past couple nights.
Me too.
Like, dude, sometimes I'm laying down watching the stream and I wake up at like 6 a.m. and the stream is still going. And I'm
like, Gregor,
where am I?
Dash, can we get Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill Nye? Did you hear Bill Nye's a phony? I heard Bill Nye's a phony.
Yeah, he's just an actor.
Doesn't know a damn thing about science.
I think his degree was in acting. Like he's an actor.
Guy's awesome. I respect the hell out of that.
Like performing arts or something like that.
That's awesome. I gotta do a Bill Nye deep dive one of these days. But so March Madness is coming around.
Oh, dude, I know. It's awesome.
I saw a great tweet also that said we are one milk expiration date away from March Madness beginning now, by the way.
I don't get it. Does milk expire after 30 days? Or?
Someone went to the grocery store and it said expires March 20th.
So the whole next wave
and the guy was
expiring.
like, oh my God.
Nice, that's awesome.
By the time my milk expires, March Madness will tip off.
Should get one. We should get a thing of milk and leave it here on the Talkin Slab and drink it the day before it expires and March Madness begins in honor and celebration. I love that.
Maverick says Bill Nye's an engineer. I'm going to have to check you on that one, Maverick. Let me check you on this.
I think he might be right. Maybe not an actor. I think maybe an engineer.
Still, engineer counts. Engineer counts big time. March Madness, it's heating up. Conference tournaments are in full swing. I was down bad last night. I was so bored, but then I ended up watching Lafayette versus Holy Cross in the Patriots. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but after I watched Lafayette versus Holy Cross, I watched fantastic games last night. I'm in bed. I'm trying to stay awake, and I'm staying awake because Texas A&M beats number 1 Auburn
and
last night.
Auburn's been really good too.
It was the first time in Texas A&M's history that they had beat a number 1 seed. Meanwhile, by the way, BYU and Iowa State are playing an amazing overtime game, and I'm falling asleep and I'm staying awake because I'm like, I want to see them rush the court. This is going to be awesome. I love the pageantry of college basketball. And then this happens. Ben, would you mind pulling up? So this video doesn't even have the full angle. Buzz Williams, you just let it run, Ben. Buzz Williams, the coach of Texas A&M, he's an amazing coach. Hugs Bruce Pearl. Look what he does. Don't rush the court. Don't rush the court. Stay. And I couldn't even find, this wasn't even the worst video.
I can't believe they listened.
Because with 20 seconds left, the game was over, 20 seconds left, the crowd's going nuts. Crowd's going to a frenzy. Kids are about to rush the court. And Buzz calls a timeout with 20 seconds left. He tries to take the mic. They don't give him the mic. And he says, stay off the court. This makes me so mad, Big Dawg, because the NCAA fines you. They take it out of your NIL money. If you rush the court, you get fined. What happened to fun?
But what about I'll be honest. Ever since like what about last? Like, dude, whenever these things get rushed, I'm kind of big on the thing of like, dude, Auburn has guys that are going to the NBA. They have some of the best basketball players potentially on their team in the country. Like, do you not care about like that injury factor that was like coming into play last year?
What injury factor?
I'm not saying that I believe in it, but like the whole Cooper Flag thing, or not Cooper Flag.
It was Kyle Filipowski
last year.
Kyle Filipowski, who's playing fantastic.
But dude, you got a guy like me that can run on the court, and I can go deck somebody on the Auburn team.
You can do that anytime you want. During any game,
but like
during
it's like
any
mass
circumstance.
Chaos. But the thing is about that is you might not know I did it. I could do it and potentially
They'll find out. They'll find out. But they could find out.
But that's like my thing is like every time I see these storms, these courts stormed. Oh my god, I broke.
These storts stormed.
Every
found
time
another
I see
alien.
the courts stormed. Nowadays, it's just like annoying kids getting in the faces of other people and like filming it. I'm not like for that. Like I'm for.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, it's always harassing the other team that just lost. I feel like though, like more than like I feel like it's a bunch of people that don't appreciate this. I feel like it's a bunch of people who have never even watched the basketball game that are just rushing the court.
And it might be, but these days with Fortnite and TikTok and all this, it's hard enough to get kids out of their dorms, out of their own little holes.
Dude,
you got it. You got the number one team coming to campus, the first team in history. Courts have been stormed. Fields have been rushed for 100 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Why are we stopping it? It's been fine. LeGarrette Blount punched a kid in the face. Life goes on. You know what I mean? This is what happens in sports. This is why college sports has always been so special. Why are we taking one of the best elements of the game out of it? I can't stand it, man.
Dude, I can't believe they listen, though. You would think that there's a group that would, once one group does it, the rest just are like, okay, let's go, we're going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe everybody held back and was like, okay, we're not going to do this. There was not like one group of like 20 rebels that were like,
I think one kid actually rushed the court from what I've heard on the broadcast.
Usually it's like once you lead, the others are going to follow in like a situation like that, I feel. I understand what you're saying. Like, I always wanted to rush the court when I was in college and stuff like that. Never got that opportunity.
I rushed the court once and it was horrible. We beat friggin' Temple beat 19th ranked Wichita State, and I was at the stand saying, let's not storm, this is pathetic. And then everyone rushed the court and I said, all right, I will too, this is fun. I'm not going to get another chance to do it. And it was a pathetic court storm, but it was one nonetheless. It just makes me so mad. Like Big Dawg. It's not like.
So he only called that off because of the NIL, NIL money situation.
Yes. Okay. But because of the NIL situation is because of this Kyle Filipowski crap last season.
Yes.
Where Filipowski, by the way, if you remember, and maybe I didn't pull a video. I didn't think we were going to get this into it. But Filipowski like leans into it, all right? Talkin Slab tomorrow from Josh's front porch rocking chair as he shakes his fist at the world. I hear you, Jay Kane, but I will stand by this. Filipowski's a crumb. Caitlin Clark, she leaned into it too. She was fine.
Oh yeah, Caitlin Clark.
She was fine. She made more money because of it. Caitlin Clark's a legend. Filipowski is not. Look at Filipowski. You ever read the story about his wife?
No.
Don't want to get into that. His Mormon wife who.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So maybe Filipowski's not the guy we should be listening to.
I'm familiar with the Filipowski story now that you bring it up.
I tell you what, like, it just makes me so mad that, like, the first time a program has ever beat a number one ranked team in their history, and Buzz Williams, who's a hell of a guy, hell of a coach, has to say, nope, stay back, calls the timeout, stay off the field, stay off the court. We can't lose our NIL money. Golly, it really gets me going. JK, and I know, but don't you want to see courts get stormed? It's so fun. I stayed up last night just to watch the court get stormed, and then I was in bed and I was like, I know what I'm talking about tomorrow. Like it just makes me so damn mad. By the way, Dash, this is a great list. This is a great list right here. Usain Bolt, okay, yep. Brock Lesnar, Bruce Lee, Mike Tyson, Simone Biles, Joey Chestnut. All right, I'm gonna eliminate Mike Tyson from that list. That guy's just awesome and crazy. But it's a good one.
Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut, absolutely an alien. Simone Biles, maybe one of the biggest aliens of them all. Brock Lesnar, I might take him off the list as well.
Alien.
Just awesome.
I think alien,
You think alien?
Yeah.
Maybe he's like dad's an alien and his mom is a human kind of thing, you know? Usain Bolt, yeah, Usain Bolt's an alien. Humans don't run that fast, I tell you that much. NFT says Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh, are you talking about an alien or are you talking about something with the store corming? Jordan Walsh, is that the guy who had alopecia? Correct me if I'm wrong, NFT. Guy does not ring a bell right away, but I know we're... Yvonne, yeah, okay, I know you're talking about NFT.
Yvonne Drago.
Well,
Gosh, that's a good one.
Ivan Drago, half alien, half Russian Soviet Union experiment. I like that one. Jose Canseco alien. Nope, that was just a Russian experiment. Made in a lab kind of guy. Let me see how much juice we can put in this guy. Don't say that to Will Smith. Wait, what are we not saying to Will Smith here, G-Lo? I'm trying to figure out. Oh boy, if it has to do with Will Smith, it's got to be good. Alopecia. Oh. G.I. Jade
Connie,
joke.
have you seen a
I made a G.I. Jade joke. Dude, the Will Smith slap is always funny to me. Oh my goodness. Bro, have you seen Adolis Garcia's head? Connie, I think that was Photoshop, by the way. I think that was Photoshop, but I know what you're talking about. J. Kane, back in my day, we stormed the court, laughed at the losing team, threw the goalpost in the river, and we were grateful for it. Damn right we were, J. Kane. We went back home and drank Natty Lights, the worst beer you could find. Oh my goodness, JK, thank you. Thank you. It is true. There goes my Christmas card. Connie, what? By the way, Connie and I did have a bet in Northwestern UCLA. He won the bet, tipped my cap to Connie. I think he covered by the hook or by 1.5. And I said, Connie, how do you want me to send it to you? He goes, send it to Jason. Water bills due. Connie, I thought you've been doing pretty well over here. I don't know how your other bets have been doing, man. Hope you're all right. If we can mosh at concerts, we can storm the court. That's what I'm talking about, G-Lo. That's what I'm talking about. My goodness, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
All right, we have a 30 teams, 30 shows. What do we got?
Who was it yesterday?
Red Sox. Might have been the best one, honestly.
Who is it today?
One of the worst ones, in my opinion. The Minnesota Twins.
Minnesota!
Yeah, there you go. Hit the button. The Minnesota Twins today.
Do they still have that kid coaching? Henry Bumgardner? You ever seen the movie?
Yeah.
Where the kid becomes the coach of the Twins.
Oh, you're mixing. Yeah, that's right. You're mixing Little Big League and Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. Rosenberger. We talked about that yesterday.
Mixing the two movies.
No, Little Big League. No, they got Rocco Baldelli coaching, actually.
Nice.
82 and 80 last year. Star player for the Minnesota Twins. Am I fair to say Royce Lewis? I'm going to say Royce Lewis. I don't think it's Carlos Correa. You know, I don't think it's Byron Buxton. I think by default it's Royce Lewis. The Twins last year, they were at one point had a 96% chance to make the playoffs. Ooh. And they collapsed. Their star pitcher, I would say, Pablo Lopez. This is a little video I threw together. This is the Twins collapse. The video that find last year.
Do you by any chance have what their record was when they potentially started off well and when the collapse began? Because there was something I was talking about on stream a couple days ago that I was.
I'm trying to see Twins playoff chances 2024. I was just trying to find
because did it all just collapse at some point in the summer? Did they all just get tired in the summer and just let it collapse?
Let's see. They own a 95. Let me see what it says. It doesn't say their record in this article I was reading yesterday. 5.5 game cushion. And September 5th, they own a 95% chance at a playoff spot according to Fangraphs. No, it doesn't say their record. Nonetheless, it was terrible. It was a terrible collapse for the Twins. Nice. I'm just gonna play. I put together a little compilation. You can just let it play, Ben. This was just their last series. They still had a chance. Game 1, they play a series against the Marlins. The Marlins, who lost 100 games. Thank you, Maverick. Pull up. Thank you, Maverick. 75 and 62 at one point. They finished 82.
Oh my God, they went 5 and
80.
7 and 18 to finish.
7 and 18 to close out the season. So it starts with Game 1 against the Marlins. The Marlins jump on them in the first inning. Jake Berger hit that inning for home run that first inning. Twins never stood a chance in that game. This was Game 2 against the Marlins. In extra innings, Twins trying to move the winning run over, bunt into a double play. Great call here that just kind of sums up.
The worst result you could have had.
It's a great call here. I'll lay out.
When the Twins manager had twins and they were...
Now, this top of the 13th inning, the very next inning, bloop single. Some guys I've never even heard of on the Marlins. There you go. They take the lead in the 13th inning.
Thanks, Maverick. There we go.
And I saw Twins fans say the hustle on Correa here encapsulates the whole end. Look at Correa on the first base line. Oh. He was probably going to be safe.
Yeah, he would have made it.
He was probably going to be safe. That all but ended it. They weren't officially eliminated at that point.
That's lazy.
Just lazy. Yeah, just lazy. I think it really summed it up. And then the next game starts the series against the Orioles. I mean, at this point, it would have taken a miracle. They just weren't mathematically eliminated. Maverick, good memory there. Oh, someone forgot to hit Phil Frame on Premier. And there you go. The end of the season for the Minnesota Twins. I mean, I would say I feel bad for Twins fans. I feel bad for the Twins. But I just kind of looking at this collapse, looking at some of the names here on that Twins team as you see them running the bases, looking at their roster right now, I almost feel like the Twins were lucky to be, and maybe luck's not the right word, but the Twins roster, the Twins lineup, don't think it was all that great to begin with, right? Looking down this name, and look, this is the Twins' projected lineup this season. Matt Wallner, Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, Trevor Larnach, Royce Lewis, Ryan Jeffers, Willie Castro, Ty France, Brooks Lee, off the bench, Jose Miranda, Edouard Julien, Harrison Bader. That is not a playoff roster. That is not I take it a little bit far. A bunch of plumbers. I mean, it feels like you got Royce Lewis, who's a good player. You got Carlos Correa, who, listen, he shows flashes of being that Carlos Correa we once knew. But it's a bunch of guys who would hit 7th and 6th in lineups, a bunch of guys who would be great platoon bats that would surround star players, but it's not a playoff team. What have we got Dash saying? How many of those guys were top 10? That's a great point. Well, the one I would believe it is Brooks Lee and Royce Lewis, right? Top prospects that I do think you could trade everyone on that team. You could cut everyone on that team, keep Brooks Lee and Royce Lewis. There's no doubt about that. And Gilo says, at the end of the day, you're agreeing with me, Gilo, here. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of mid guys that finished with a mid record, and they got off to a hot start. So we could say collapse, and granted, yes, it was a collapse. I was going to ask the question, but before I even asked the question, everyone kind of answered it for me. The question was, did the Twins just collapse, or was there really a regression to the mean? I think we're on the same page. They regressed to the mean. What do we got? JK, and the best thing us DJs can hope for from the 2025 Twins is they maintain the value of Brooks Lee and Walker Jenkins and will be debut patch cards. What do you think about that, Big Dog? What's your take of that? Do you think we hold that? Because mine is a resounding yes.
Yes, for Brooks Lee on the Brooks Lee cards there.
Now I'm not sure the Walker Jenkins discussion. I don't know if he will be up this upcoming year. Let me see what Fangraphs has. I'm a big Fangraphs fan here. Walker Jenkins, they have him in AA right now. 17th ranked prospect going into the season. You never know. You never know. He is the number one organizationally ranked player, and I'll answer it this way, Jay Kane. One, I don't think he's going to lose any value if he stays in the minor leagues. And number 3 overall, damn, that was Fangraph 17. Number 3 overall. I do think it's going to maintain. I don't think you should be worried about those because Brooks Lee, who's going to take at bats from him?
Yeah. So I think that's fine.
Let's see. It's not going to be Edouard Julien. Edouard Julien, I think we're kind of done with that. It's not going to be Ty France. I think you're down bad when you got Ty France. You're signing Ty France. I'm with you there, Jay Kane. Us D-Gens, you can be rest assured of those comps. Same with Royce Lewis. Byron Buxton, man, I think it's over. Now, I do think the most interesting part of this Twins team is their pitching staff. Pablo Lopez. What version of Pablo Lopez? Should they sign Rizzo? Why? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, sure, B-Love. Like, sure, if the price is right. And yes. My answer will actually be yes, B-Love. Now that I'm looking at it, if your choice is Ty France or Rizzo, why not sign Rizzo? Get a cheap deal. What else are you doing? You know, maybe work out some sort of platoon here. I believe Ty France a righty, Rizzo a lefty. Platoon the two of them. Yeah, I'm without that. Buxton was one of the highest touted prospects in recent memory. Always teases the potential for a few weeks before getting hurt again. There's something in the water on the Twin Lakes because we could say the same thing about Royce Lewis. Difference is Buxton is now 31. Royce Lewis is now 25. So we still have 5 more years of this song and dance with Royce Lewis. Mm-hmm. But seriously, I do think if we're going to talk about this from the hobby standpoint, Royce Lewis would be one of those guys where I still think you can get in at a lower number. He's 25 years old. Yeah. Like, he could have 10 all-star seasons coming up. Royce Lewis would be the guy to get. I think right now, if we're looking at a hobby standpoint, obviously we know Brooks Lee. Obviously we know Walker Jenkins. But if we're looking for a guy in the MLB, I would be getting some Royce Lewis. By the way, 10:45, more on the Twins. 10:45, we're going to get our slab or no slab giveaway up. What were you about to say, Big Dog? I feel like you're about to say something.
No, I'm all good with everything.
All right, pitching staff, though. Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, Simeon Woods Richardson, and their 5th starter cracked me up, Chris Paddock. Chris Paddock, who said this also? Who just made the comment? How many? Oh, Dash. Another one of the guys, Chris Paddock, coming up. Yeah, Patty knows. Dude, when Chris Paddock was coming up with the Padres, it was like must-see TV. This guy was electric. He's crazy in the head also. Like, he's got that pitcher gene with Max Scherzer. You think of Mark the Bird Friedrich, if you want to go way back, the guy like talking to the ball, like just a lunatic. That to me is Chris Paddock. Think of Trevor Bauer, though, as well. Paddock, unfortunately, and I'm not talking about that other part. We don't need to talk about that with Pat Bauer. Bauer's a lunatic, regardless of the allegations.
Dude, lunatic, man.
Chris Paddock, a little bit of a lunatic as well. The water from Lake Minnetonka, says Bobby V. B-Love says, who is more injury prone, Royce or Buxton? You have to say Byron Buxton, but per sample size, per capita, I hate to say it's pretty even. Like Royce Lewis, I couldn't believe that. I was looking at his game log last year. Pretty sure he homered to the first game of the season. Out for 3 months after that. Dude, Royce Lewis is an enigma, man, because looking at him last year, he had 10 home runs, I believe, in the month of June and 0 in like the month of September.
Very nice.
Or something
very
like that.
Consistent.
Yeah. So, look, Royce Lewis, I would take a flyer on it. Big Dawg, you look at the AL Central here. What do you think the playoff hopes are for the Twins realistically?
Dude, I don't know. Well, how many wins did they have again last year? What was the record?
82-80, but you remember
I think they're winning less games than that this year. So I know that's a question that we've been talking about.
I'm just pulling it up.
And I know
we've
started on some of the. And this is another one of those teams.
I just saw the number. I just saw the Twins over under. You got a guess?
74.
84.5.
Wow, 10 more than I said under on that.
We found the one team we're hammering their under. This has been a pretty positive outlook on all these teams, and I apologize. Minnesota as a city, very good fans. Very good fans in Minnesota. Yes. Vikings fans are like showing the best in the league. Dude, the way they score crazy. Hockey in Minnesota.
So 2 more.
84.5 is their win total. I don't know how they get that number. Yeah, I have no idea. The one thing I think the Twins have going...
From what we've just broke down, like, I don't understand what avenue there is to get to that number.
I don't know either. And I think the AL Central is up this year. I have the Twins finishing 4th in the AL Central. I think the Royals finish ahead of them. Mm-hmm. I think the Tigers and I think the Guardians all finish ahead of them. Yeah, who's one team I'm missing here in the AL Central? Hold on. It's hard when you're thinking on the fly. I know some of you were yelling at me, but when you're on the spot, the White Sox. That's why I couldn't remember. It's the White Sox. Yeah, doesn't take too much.
They're worse than the White Sox.
Nah, I tell you what, we're bullish on the White Sox future, but I'm not going to go as far as say they finish below the White Sox here. My one sleeper player for the Twins, Jose Miranda. I think Jose Miranda is a decent little ball player. 26 years old, hasn't had a ton of opportunity, and he is a platoon-heavy bat. But Jose B-Line says, wassa! G-Lo, White Sox improved to 42 wins. Yeah, now we're talking.
There we go, White Sox.
Now
Congrats.
We're talking. But we finally found, Dash holding me accountable. About damn time we put that under for a team. 84.5 is bonkers to me. Let's operate, though. Let's try to be positive, though. What needs to happen for the Twins to steal a wild card spot? Now, I do think there are some interesting things on the Twins, like Ryan Jeffers, fantasy baseball darling. Guy will hit tank shots. Guy will hit home runs. Won't do more than that. You're going to need Byron Buxton to stay healthy all year. Rothschild face. You're going to need Royce Lewis to stay healthy all year. Face. Carlos Correa, take a drink from the fountain of youth. Brooks Lee, take a step forward and be the guy that we've expected him to be. Edward Julian, not strike out as much. And you're going to need to see Cy Young, Pablo Lopez. I mean, I think that's what it takes for the Twins to compete for the playoffs. And Maverick, that's the thing. Pitching, it's all the pitching. If the Twins are on, they do have one of the best rotations in the league. Bailey Ober, I think, is one of the more interesting case studies as a pitcher because he went through stretches last year where he looked like a legitimate ace on any ball club, and then he would have these blow-up starts. And I think Simeon Woods Richardson we're in the weeds here at the Twins. It's not very sexy, I would say, in terms of a team to break down.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, Dash says, that's all? Yeah, that's all. I do think Simeon Wood Richardson is a great sleeper for a guy who just shoves. I want to say he throws like 96 or 97 miles per hour, but when you watch him pitch, it gets on guys quick. I do think Simeon Woods Richardson is a nice young pitcher to watch. Main thing that needs to happen is to not trade away a prospect at the deadline. Keep the decent prospect nucleus going into 26. I think that is a good point, Jay Kane, because you get Brooks Lee. Yeah, you got to imagine you get Walker Jenkins rookie year in 26, I would guess. And you do have this pitching staff. No one's over 30 right now on this pitching staff for the Twins, and everyone on that pitching staff, I think, is pretty good. I'm trying to think, is there another pitcher here? Let me pull it up in the system that could be coming up that I may be missing. Oh, and Austin Martin. Austin Martin's not a bad look
Austin Martin.
for the Minnesota Twins. Zebby Matthews. Zebby Matthews, not terrible for the Twins in their farm system. That's it. They got Huskar Yanoa, I see, the former Atlanta Brave prospect in the system. Not great in terms of guys who would be coming up soon. So there you go. Bless you, Ben. That is the Charlie Soto, says Bobby V. How old is Soto here? I think he's still got some time to go. Correct me if I'm wrong. Charlie Soto playing an A-ball at 19 years old. So, yeah, you're right, but I don't know if we're looking on that the 2026. He'd probably be a 2027, 2028 timeline. But still, the Twins aren't drafting 23. Thank you, the teacher. Twins aren't, like, screwed long-term. I think the Twins have a decent base, but, like, if you're a Twins fan, you got to feel a little shaky. And I think JK nailed it. Just don't trade away any prospect. Like, even if you are looking pretty good at the trade deadline, the Twins will always be the Twins. I think they're going to be around 75 to 80 wins. I think it would benefit them, even if they are around 500, maybe try to trade Carlos Correa, and try to go for that 2026, 2027 timeline. Who knows? I could be wrong. You could have Pablo Lopez, Bailey Ober, and Simeon Woods Richardson all look like Cy Young candidates this year, and it's a totally different discussion. I wouldn't bank on it. But, man, I didn't expect the Twins discourse to be so lively, Didn't have a ton to break down because I think the Twins, everyone's kind of on the same page where it's like, teeter around 500, look to 2026. They have a decent bullpen. I'll give them that. I think Joan Duran and Griffin Jacks are pretty good players. Both could be closers. Griffin Jacks got a good run. And Joan Duran, very underrated. I think they trade outfield prospects for starting pitching. But that's my one thing, teacher. I don't really know how much they need. Bob, stop at you. I don't know how much they... I don't know how much they need starting pitching. I did not look up the contracts, like how long these guys are under contract. But just like I said, none of these guys between Lopez, Joe Ryan, Ober, Woods Richardson, all under 30, all guys I would like to have for the next few years that I would be comfortable tethering myself. But nonetheless, man, 10:53, got a little top five list coming up in a moment, a fun one I didn't get to yesterday. But we got to look around the rest of the MLB. Roki Sasaki,
I wanted to bring it up before we got out of here.
Yes.
I had it on my mind. I was literally going to bring it up. Pitched yesterday for the first time, I think.
Ben, would you mind pulling it up? We had linked a little
his
Twitter.
Pitches he looks good.
I, being a hater like I am, especially a big Dodgers hater, saw the videos come out of Sasaki pitching against the White Sox in warm-ups, getting shelled, and I was like, excellent. Sasaki's going to be a bust. And then he saw this last night. Dude. It's lethal.
It's lethal.
It is lethal. Dude, that bitch is crazy. How fast was that again? Was it 95?
How do you hit that?
I don't know, man.
How does it drop like that?
See, here's what I'm going to say about Sasaki. I'm trying to say, I saw a number on him. About the splitter usage, it was like unheard of. I'm trying to find it. These are all swings and misses on his slider. It was an 8 of the splitter. 98 miles per hour. 98 miles per hour on his fastball. I think the splitter.
Wait, is this looping or is this? Are these all?
It's looping.
I thought he was just like taking names.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to see. I should have read it. I wrote it down. There was some data about a splitter basically saying what he did in 3 innings of spring training with a splitter had never been done since 2015 or pretty much. That's a bad job by me. But nonetheless, you saw the insane stuff. 98 mile per hour fastball at some points, bringing the filth on the splitter as well. The Sasaki hype is real. I will be drafting him in fantasy. I think it is a safe investment. Correct. I don't have that one on here. Now show the nuke. Kyle Teal hit off.
That was like last week. Dude,
the sound that pitch made, the sound that hit made was awesome. Here's what I'm thinking about the Sasaki thing, and I think it's going to be one of these things this year where he will have like 8 innings pitched, like shutouts, and then I think he will get shelled. There will be games where the splitter just doesn't work. And right. I think that's going to be the case. Is there will be games where the splitter doesn't work, it's
Feast or
flat,
famine.
Guys will crush him, and there will be games where it's like, this is literally like the guy who might be competing with Paul Steens for Cy Young every year. But long story short, let's just establish this now with the feast or famine thing, so we're not doing, I'm not doing the card ladder when Sasaki has 2 back-to-back starts. Where people are selling off Sasaki cards left and right. He's 26 years old still. He's going to be a stud, I think. And I don't mean to overreact for one spring training start. It's just the eye test of the stuff, the movement on the splitter, and the 98-mile-per-hour fastball juxtaposition. I hate to say it. I'm excited. And then the other guy I want to look at, Spencer Jones. Now, we are so fickle sometimes in this hobby. When we talk about a guy and when he doesn't get called up and pop right away, it's like, all right, on to the next guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Spencer Jones was that guy for a week or two a couple years ago. Ben, would you mind pulling up? I think this was just a home run he hit yesterday off the Phillies.
He's been
triple shy of the cycle yesterday in spring training.
Triple shy of the cycle. I heard that, yeah.
He has been hitting tank shots in spring training. And yesterday, now his home run wasn't against Ranger Suarez. I can't see, who was this against? Trying to recognize him. Minor league pitcher, don't get me wrong, but absolutely launched this one. This was low. He hit it with one hand. That ball got out of here in a hurry. He also was roping the ball off of Ranger Suarez, a premier, maybe not premier, but like a legitimate good MLB starter. Spencer Jones has been tearing the cover off the ball.
He's huge, too.
So far in spring training, he's hitting .429 with 2 homers, 6 RBIs, a stolen base, a 1,500 OPS. Big Dawg, let me just
effortless too, no sleeves. Literally, that was effortless.
And I was there, boots on the ground, eyes there in Dunedin against the Blue Jays. He hit now this is just eye test, probably a 400-footer at least, opposite field. Cranked it opposite field. Gonna start beating the drum. Spencer Jones, Yankee starting first baseman. Maybe not opening day, but I will tell you what, this guy is an absolutely specimen. Jason Dominguez has been called an alien. I'm not going to call him an alien, but you said it. Guy's 6'5". Guy's got the body. And I know he's typically an outfielder, but Yankees going into the season with Paul Goldschmidt and Ben Rice as your first base options. Interested to see what happens with Paul Goldschmidt, but I do think Spencer Jones might be a nice option, kind of speed that up. I'm excited to see Spencer Jones. Big Dawg, you got anything else before we are out of here that you've been noticing in spring training? Anything else crazy?
No, I wanted to bring up the Saki thing. Spencer Jones, a big one. Nothing else really crazy. Just been seeing like a lot of good highlights. Again, anybody who's looking at what we have going on in the breaks and stuff like that, draft is just such an important product right now. Again, we were harping on Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin was tanking homers this past weekend. Carson DiMartini cranked a homer. Cam Smith has been hitting them. Guys, all of the guys that we are chasing in Bowman Draft are the guys that are like producing, and it's actually coming to fruition now live on the TV in person. So again, we got 30 spots left in that random HTA case. Make sure you get in now before these guys start getting too good and their market is priced out for you. So again, still able to get in at only $120 a spot, but yeah, spring training's been exciting. It's going to be amazing when baseball season's in swing. Talkin Slab is going to have a new element.
11 days.
So 11 days is the
Tokyo
series.
No, I'm wrong.
March
11
18th,
days,
right?
18th. I keep thinking it's the 16th. That's when the Topps Tokyo event is happening. 18th, so that's 13 days. A little under 2 weeks until we get our first Major League Baseball regular season game at 6 a.m. We'll be up. We'll be watching it.
Yep. So again, that would be cool. There will be a whole new aspect of Slab, I feel like, of breaking down games
every day.
Every day. So I think Slab, if you've been watching it, is going to be pretty enhanced.
We'll be trying, man.
In the next 2 weeks.
Been trying to show some of these guys, especially these prospects, how they're doing in spring training. A little taste, little sample every day. Brief top 5 today. Didn't get to it yesterday. Yesterday was National Sons Day. Fake day, for sure. You know, it's Father's Day.
Nobody wished me anything.
Yeah, nobody wished me anything either. But I want to do the top 5 sons in sports history. Okay. Honorable mention, our first honorable mention in top 5, Prince Fielder, son of Cecil Fielder. There you go. Number 5, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Not too much there to it.
Yep.
Number 4, Barry Bonds, son of Bobby Bonds. Number 3, Ken Griffey Jr. Some would say, he should be higher on this list. I didn't say best father-son duos. I'm just going straight sons.
Who's not going to be a number 1?
Number 2, Steph Curry.
And
Del Curry. And number 1, it's a 2-for-1 combo. Peyton and Eli, the 2 sons. Peyton and Eli have to be number 1.
Yep.
They pack a punch. They bring it together. Arch Manning. Yep. You got, 4 Super Bowls between 2 sons. Yeah, there you go, Dash. Beats absolutely everyone. EB says yesterday was National Pancake Day. I missed Pancake Day. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me I missed free pancakes at IHOP too then? You know me. I love a good deal. I got a coupon for a free Wendy's chicken sandwich burning a hole in my pocket, Big Dawg. I tell you what, I knew it, Maverick. Free short stack, I could have taken it. Slab or no slab is going off. You guys think Sasaki will make it on the 2025 Bowman flagship checklist? Ooh. Yes, J. Kane. I do think so. J. Kane. Let's see who's going off. AW Gator fan. Big game for the Gators today.
There we go.
Playing against Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be watching that one.
That's going to be a good one.
125 or 50, Gator fan. What are we taking down here? Come on. 43. Let's see a Gator fan. Give me a Gator. Bernie Williams with a game-used bat relic. They'll take that one, Gator fan. Congratulations to you. Not bad. Bernie Williams with a game-used bat relic numbered to 199, going to be our winner. Appreciate you tuning in, Gator fan, and go Gators. Gators are going to be my, I think I'm going to pick them this year in college basketball for March Madness. I don't know about tonight, though. Might be an Alabama spot, just being honest. I got to do a deeper dive in that game tonight. There's your card, Bernie Williams to 199 on the game-used bat relic. Congratulations to you, AW Gator fan. Guys, appreciate you joining me. Always love when Big Dawg's on the desk.
Talking
show. Quarterbacks,
good show.
Talking aliens, talking court storm. Get off my lawn. But for now, let's hop on in. We got great breaks loaded up. $120. I want to see this caser cleared by the end of, what do we got? 1:30. Lunchtime. Lunchtime case break. Big Dawg, you have a fantastic day. Appreciate you as always. Guys, if you miss any of our shows, a little technical difficulties the last couple of days. These shows will be on YouTube and on Spotify if you ever want to go back and listen. Appreciate you guys joining us.
Thank you guys.
I'm back here at 9:30 tomorrow in the morning, but for now, we're going to send it over to Rippin' with Big Dawg and Big Tonka right here on Suncoast Sports. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. See ya.